Okay, welcome back. If you've made it to video 2, then it means you probably enjoyed video 1. So I am happy you are here watching my face. Okay, so we're going to talk about the menu bar next. And if we get time, we'll then take a look at switching up some of the settings and searching and the dock. So the menu bar is this long bar that is on the screen at all times, unless you're in full screen mode. And in Windows, if you've used Windows before your Mac, these menus were sort of within the apps you're using, whereas on a Mac they're detached at the top of the screen. They serve a very similar purpose. We're going to go through how that works and some top tips on getting the most out of it. So first we have the Apple menu, which always stays the same. The Apple menu does not change. So it doesn't matter what app you're using. And this is very useful for being able to shut down and restart your computer. It's also got a button here called Force Quit. And that's a bit like Control-Alt-Delete on Windows, where if an app is frozen and it's non-responsive, then you can force quit the app. You can force it to quit if it isn't working normally. So I'll just click on that just to show you. And what that does is it just lists all the apps that are running on your Mac at the moment. And if one isn't working properly, then you just click Force Quit and you just confirm and it will force that app to quit. It might mean that you might lose any data that was on that app at the time it froze, but very useful nevertheless. So that's it for that menu. I mean, you can explore this yourself and you can find out more about your Mac or have a quick link to your computer settings or app store. But mainly we use it to log out, restart and sleep and force quit if the computer's frozen. Then these other menus here, these are called app menus. These are for the app you're currently using. So you'll see these words change depending on what app you're using. So for example, if I go to Safari, which is my web browser, you see the menus change to words like history and bookmarks. Whereas if I were to open a different app like Pages, which is like Microsoft Word, then I've got menus now like format and arrange. So just bear that in mind. A lot of different tools and features for each app are found in these menus. And sometimes we lose where they are. Like if you forget, say you forget one of these menus, say somewhere in this menu here, there's an option called mask with shape, which is a feature within this app called Pages. And if you forget where that is, the very last menu called Help has a built-in search feature. So if I type in like mask with shape, then I can hover over and it will point out exactly where it is. So it goes, it's in format, image, mask with shape. So very useful. Do you know what? I love that so much. I'm going to do it again. I can do it for a different app. Say Safari. Say there's a menu in here like a translation. And I forget where that is in the menu. Click Help. Type in what you're looking for. And, not transformations, translation. And it will show me where that is. So very useful if you lose something in the menu bar. Something I cannot believe that other operating systems have. Feel free to give that a go if you want to before moving on. It's your choice. You can pause me at any time. Okay, so that's the app menus. Right, gets a bit more exciting on this side. So here we have status menus. So you have status menus for, these can be different depending on your computer. These are like little apps or tools that are running in the background. So I'm currently recording my screen. So there's a little status for that, for my screen recording. If you're printing something, you may see a little status up there for what you're printing. You've got a Wi-Fi menu up here as well for the status of your Wi-Fi and battery. And then you've got Spotlight. So Spotlight is the built-in search on your Mac. We'll cover that a bit more later. Oh, what did I just do there? What we didn't cover on the last video was how to expose your desktop. We looked at expose for exposing other apps. But if ever you just want to look at your desktop, you can just click on your desktop wallpaper and it does this, and it just exposes your desktop. More useful if you've got like other things in the way. If I click on my desktop now, it does that. So yeah, clicking on an empty desktop will expose your desktop. We accidentally do that all the time, but I thought I'd point that out as I accidentally did it. Right, back on the menu here. So spotlights for searching. That's really cool. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But then we've got this button here, which is called Control Center. So Control Center will show you more menus and tools, such as connecting to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You've got a bunch of controls that you can just have access to for quick access. So it's quick access to some of the settings which you can find elsewhere in your computer, but they're just here for convenience. And we just turn that on and off with Control Center. There's even a button down here to edit controls, where there are heaps. There are so many things you can add to your Control Center. I'll be honest, I haven't really ever changed any of them. I've just left the ones that are there. I could go ahead and say, oh, this is really cool, because it will save you lots of time. But actually, I think it is very personal to what you would want to use it for. But feel free to have a look if there's anything you would like to add. But in all honesty, you don't really need to change any of them. I mean, there's a lock screen button, but you could just click on the Apple menu for that. Screen capture, arguably that's quite cool if you want to take a screenshot, but there's a keyboard shortcut for that. But I'm not going to add anything, so I'm just going to click done. I'm happy with how it is. So pretty much keep that as it is for your Control Center. I'm going to press that button to make it disappear. And then lastly, we've got the clock. And interestingly, you can click on the clock and it shows you notifications. Because why not? Why wouldn't the clock show you notifications, right? Apps might give you notifications just like they do on your mobile. They are somewhat frustrating, but if you do have a notification, you can swipe it and you can have options if you would rather have less notifications from that particular app, or you can clear your notifications, but all your notifications do appear in that place, which is useful if you miss a notification. Like if you see, oh, an email came in or something came in and it disappeared before you got a chance to read it, then click on your clock to be able to see the notification. But I don't think people are otherwise clicking on their notifications on a daily basis. So there's one more thing to point out with the menu bar, and that is these widgets, which are also on the screen. I've got a calendar and I've got a temperature, weather on my desktop. There are more that you can add, and it's very straightforward to add and remove them. Just right click on any existing widget. So I'm just going to right click on my weather forecast here. And we've got a bunch of choices on this menu. I can remove it if I don't want it. There are different size widgets, and different sizes might show you more information. So a medium size widget there will give me a 5-day forecast for the weather. On my calendar, if I right click, and I thought it was going to say small, medium or large. Clearly not in this case, but you can edit the widgets. So I could change the London forecast to show somewhere else. I could edit this widget and it might give me some more choices for different types. Because here we go, there's different types for the calendar, look, that are small, medium or large. So you can edit ones that are existing, that are already there. But I'm going to right click again and choose edit widgets, because yes, that drawer that pops up will give you heaps and heaps of choices of so many types of widgets that you can add. And again, feel free to explore, see if there's something that's useful to you. If you follow the stock market, one that I arguably would say is quite good is like a screen time widget, just as a monitor of how much time you've spent on your looking at screens to try and keep a healthy lifestyle. But yes, widgets are there. Explore, choose the ones you like, drag them around if you want to place them anywhere you like, and enjoy your widgets. I'm going to remove that one. Right click, remove. Now, we do need to talk about the dock, which is at the bottom of the screen, and how we can customize this, and a bit more about how that works. And we need to talk about how to deal with a messy desktop with these files in the background. But I'll save that for video number 3.